Hi, it's late. I just want to do this while it's in my mind. Um, a couple of things. First of all, the video I did earlier. Um, I just want to be really clear that I'm very, very careful not to particularly nail my colours to the mast. The truth of it is, I would know a lot more about these cases if I saw Crown Prosecution disclosure, because only really in there can you get an idea of what is likely to happen going forwards in terms of if you end up in court, or in this case you are actually eventually charged. I'm really careful to keep in mind that when somebody tells you, a third party as well, which in this case it was, when they tell you everything they know, it's very easy for people to just slightly misrecall what they've been told by somebody else. So, but the other thing with this is that sometimes even people who mean well for someone they care about don't necessarily want to give you the entire bigger picture. And the fact of it is, the more information you have, the more you can make a kind of a balance of probability judgment in terms of the law. The only thing about that is, Crown Court trials are not decided on balance of probability. That's for other lesser courts. But my point on that is just that I'm very careful about what I say, what I assert, and any advice I give. Over the years, I've been in situations like this many times in prison with people on remand, or people just wondering whether their sentence was too high, or whatever it is to do with the whole legal system. It's not easy for everybody to understand it very well. So I guess, I mean, even going right back to my Belmarsh days, I remember writing a legal letter for a guy who was facing extradition to the United States on a murder charge. And he wasn't a silly person, but he just didn't really get his head round how to write a letter, a kind of formal letter to a legal representative. So I helped him with that, and over the years that I've been inside since that was 2004, over the years after that, yeah, I've done a fair bit of that. I don't advertise myself in that capacity at all, but I guess even I, not very communicative in prison with not many people, but the general kind of, the way people are perceived by the people around them on the wings, it filters across. Some people it filters really rapidly because they're just white noise and in your face, and others are quieter and just let nature take its course, I suppose. Um, the other thing I wanted to say, I've had some really very nice messages, about, obviously you already know about the book, but also now the Terry Stone podcast. It seems to have gone down pretty well, and I'm glad for that. It's just a case of, it's like this, it's just me being me, even when it's me being me, really tired and ready to go to bed late on a Friday night. But yeah, so I wanted to refer to some questions in particular. They're all the same. It's about kind of me having a scheduled live slot, I guess, And those of you who have been around for any amount of time will know that I really don't go for that at all, because no disrespect to it, but TikTok is low down on my list of priorities, really, because, real life is all around me. So having said all of that, I've had so many people ask me since the podcast came out that I'm going to say that I will definitely do a live at 6 o'clock on Sunday, this coming Sunday, which is the 24th, is it? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I'll be there for that, and hopefully it's the right time for a few people to turn up. I really would encourage any sensible questions about everything that's been going on lately. Don't forget, I've got the Dodge Woodall podcast coming up. I think I've got to go there in about 2 weeks now. So that'll be another one. I've spoken to Dodge at length, but it was quite a while ago now. We hit it off pretty well, really well actually. So if the podcast is anything like the sort of half an hour we spent on the phone together, then it should be worth watching or listening to. It'll probably be on audio as well. So that's it. I think I've said what I wanted to say, but the main thing was just to really stress that I don't tell people things that I have no responsibility and no that could put anyone in a bad light. So I'm very careful about what I say and why I say it. But at the end of the day, people definitely want answers and they have lots of questions. So I think the two or three that I've spoken to in the last week will, on the whole, I think they will all benefit a lot more than they won't from having spoken to me and asked me a few questions. So I don't know it all, far from it, and I would never claim to know it all. That's because I'm intelligent enough to know that I know very little indeed. So I keep it all in perspective. Have a good Saturday, everybody. I probably won't post this until Saturday morning, so enjoy your weekend, and maybe I'll see you Sunday, 6 o'clock. Ciao.